April 7th, 1994, the day after the shooting down of former Rwandan President Juvenal Habyarimana's plane. It was on this day that Mutabazi Martin, a 27-year-old at that time who was residing in what was Kanombe commune and still living in that area today, said that this was when the genocide began officially with the participation of soldiers that were guarding the head of state, and that even before then, there were already signs of genocide.
That night, people that lived close to Habyarimana's house were all killed that very night, as most of them were Tutsi families like Murasira, Liyasi, and others. On 7th, it was being rumored and said on the radio, as all the soldiers came out of the camp, the presidential guard were killing together with the locals, as there was a megaphone passing through on the 12th road saying no one should escape.
Not only in Kanombe area but also in other parts of Kigali city, the Tutsi continued to be hunted, persecuted and killed from the early hours of April 7th. Uitije Alexandre, who lived at Sejem in Kigarama sector, which is now Kicukiro district, says that this day marks the beginning of the genocide, as all his family members were killed on that day.
Bullets were flying everywhere, the whistles, and we are living near the CDR youth living here at Sejem called Imhoza Mugambi. The 7th left me with the worst memories because that's when I lost my whole family. Like I told you, we were a family of 9 people and I'm the only one left. On that day, I saw people destroying our home. This house you're seeing was destroyed to the ground and I rebuilt it. That's when I started running for my life, hiding, and that was the last time I slept till the genocide was ended.
A document from the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement states that on April 7, 1994, there were attacks aimed at killing Tutsi who had taken refuge at the Amahoro Stadium, as it was surrounded by a UN force known as MINUAR in Center Christus in Remera, and that people were massacred in parts of Kanombe where more than 800 Tutsi were killed. Across Kigali city, the killings continued in Kachiru, Kimihurura, and in other parts of the country. It was also on this day that Prime Minister Agatha Uwiningyimana, who was known for her anti-apartheid policies in the government, was assassinated. 11 belligerent soldiers on a UN mission in Rwanda known as MINUAR, as well as politicians who did not support the genocide plot, were killed on that date, such as Kavaruganda Joseph, who was in charge of constitutional protection, those who were leaders of opposition parties such as Nzamurambaho Frederick of PSD, London Ndasingwa of PL, and others. In addition to the city of Kigali, Tutsi were massacred on April 7th all over the prefectures, such as in Gitarama, Gisenyi, Cyangugu, Ruhengeri, Kigali, and others, which is proof that the genocidal plot had been spread across the country beforehand. Genocide survivors say they are not burying themselves in sorrow, but have instead chosen to continue to work with others on the nation-building journey.
One thing that made me happy is that after the genocide had ended, we had an army to comfort us. I came and rebuilt this house, got married, and had children who are now graduates. I live a good life, and I am proud to have contributed to my country's development.
During the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, each region had its own experience up until when it ended, and the progress made in the reconstruction of the country has been commended. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.